Guns. Guns, just like this guy. That was loud. They are fun, they help the defenseless defend themselves, and all around they make our nation a greater place to live. Everything that I have just told you is true. However, I've seen often there's a problem where people will say what I just said, but then just leave it there and refuse to elaborate, and it just causes a lot of tension. A lot of times I'll see people make that claim, and then when there's opposition, instead of explaining why they're right, they just kind of call the other side an idiot. So I'm not very cool with that. So today I figured I'd give actual reasons as to why firearms like there and back there in the case, I don't know if you can see it, are pretty based. So the first anti-gun argument that I hear most often is, oh my goodness, so many people yearly die from senseless gun violence, which is true. It's doing a simple Google search, you can find it's about 48,000 per year, which is bad. I'll give them that. But by doing a little bit more research, you can find in this estimate from 2022, I'll put it on the screen and in the description, firearms are used in defensive ways 1.67 million times per year. And on the low end, the estimate you'll find is like 500,000. I saw one that said like 70,000, but that wasn't really solid at all. But either way, no matter like which way you look at it, they're used defensively way more often than not. Another thing that's often not taken into account is the fact that it's like 53% of what they would consider senseless gun violence are suicides, which is terrible, but again, it's not a person going and killing another person. And if that person, kind of wants to end it, they're going to do it whether they have a firearm or not. Another thing that I hear a lot is people will say, why do you need a gun? Why can't you just scrap it out like a man? Why do you got to rely on this tool? Well, to that I say there's a lot of ways that you can respond to that question to stop it. But here's what I'll say to whoever goes with that ideology. If you can somehow mediate that, if you can somehow get all the criminals that use a firearm to commit their crimes to decide to put it down and scrap it out like a man, then yeah, sure, I'll go for it. I'll put the weapon down and scrap it out. But yet that's literally never going to happen. And also, if we were to do that, what would you then say to all the women who are possibly about to get raped? Because they can't have their firearm, they got to scrap it out, right? They got to be tough. Well, guess what? That man is going to dominate that chick. And now you have a rape on your hands because you decided that this chick doesn't get a firearm to defend herself. Now, another thing I hear a lot is, well, maybe we don't need to ban all firearms, but we at least need stricter laws, which again is wrong. I hear people demand a lot for universal background checks, which if you're saying that, you're probably not the smartest person because they're literally instituted in every single gun store that there is. You have to go through a background check. But there's also the fact that, wait, hold on, let's take a step back. Let's think for a second, right? If a criminal has a gun, okay, by definition, a criminal is someone who purposely, knowingly violates the law. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to assume that if you were to put a gun law in place saying, hey, yeah, you can't have guns, that criminal is going to obey your little law. So there's also this little guy right here. This here is a map of where gun crime or like big gun violence things have happened throughout the USA, right? And so obviously the little dots are where the stuff happens. As you can see, pretty much all of these areas are major blue states. And this is from The Guardian, by the way. They are a left-leaning news source. Now, this was, I think it was 2015, 2017, but not a whole lot has changed. Well, I mean, a lot of things have changed, but like nothing that would affect this. In fact, it would probably actually get worse with the current administration. But take a look, dude. All these like liberal cities and counties, all of them who have typically stricter gun laws are having more gun violence. Why would that be? It's because law-abiding citizens can't access a firearm as easily to protect themselves.